All right, this is number 15 from the sample test. Very similar to the other one where we have to find the zeros of this particular function. So you will set it equal to 0. And then when we do learn to factor these trinomials, you're going to always look for a greatest common factor first. And in this case, there's a 2 that divides into all of these coefficients. So I'm going to factor that 2 out first. And I just changed colors out of nowhere, but that's fine. Not sure how that happened, but so I factored, so this would give me 2x squared, that would give me negative 8x, and that would give me negative 24. So I factored a 2 out of all of these, and now I have this trinomial that I have to factor. And that's always going to factor to 2 binomials, unless it's not factorable. But this one is, so we'll find the zeros in a second here. This first term, to get this x squared, will be x and x. X times x gives you that x squared. Now we have to look for two numbers that multiply together to be 12, or negative 12 actually, and then add or subtract to give us a 4. So when I think of the factors of 12, I think of 12 and 1, and there's no way those are going to add or subtract to be 4. That doesn't work. Then I think maybe 3 and 4, and I'm going out of order here, but I just wanted to make a point. These aren't going to add or subtract to be 4 either. So there's no way this is going to be a 3 and a 4 to multiply to beat that negative 12. The other factors of 12 are 2 and 6, and they do have a difference of 4. So 2 and 6 are probably going to work. Now, to make this a negative 12 when I distribute this, I need one positive and one negative. I know that this one's the negative and this one's the positive, because I'm good enough at factoring these where I know that that'll give me negative 6x in the middle, positive 2x in the middle, and that'll combine to be negative 4. And let me show this distribute to make sure that it does equal this. So we get our x squared, we get minus 6x, we get plus 2x, and we get minus 12. Like terms in the middle give me a negative 4x. So it says x squared minus 4x minus 12. Exactly like that says. So this is factored properly. Now I need those two zeros. And again, those zeros are the numbers that would make the quantity inside of parentheses 0. So I could put negative 2 in for x here. Negative 2 plus 2 would be 0. So if I put negative 2 in both spots here, it would be 2 times 0 times negative 8, which of course would be 0 times negative 8, which would give me 0. So that would work. Negative 2 is one of the values of x. The other value, or the other 0, would be 6, because if I put 6 here, 6 minus 6 would be 0, and 6 here, 6 plus 2 would be 8, and it would be 2 times 8 times 0, which is 16 times 0, which of course would equal 0. So there's two values for x that are zeros, and of course the smaller one would be the negative 2. So we have to get good at factoring this down, taking out a GCF and factoring it down to these two binomial factors and identifying the zeros.